guys, I'd like to welcome you back to Desert Wreath Creations in my garage crafting lair. Of course, I'm Carol. So today what I'd like to do is do another Dollar Tree DIY. So right here on my table I've got some supplies that you're going to need, and I would just like to go over them with you, and I'll also list them in the description below, okay? We all know, and this is going to be the main member of our craft today, is one of these wire frame witch hats, okay? So we're going to be using a witch hat, and I'm just going to set it to the side. Then we're also going to go back with using the Dollar Tree miniature Christmas trees, and you're going to need 4 of these this time, okay? Let's set them to the side. We're also going to be using one of the Dollar Tree garlands, all right? And 1 pack of the garland twist ties. I think they're called wired garland ties. You're going to need another roll of this tulle that looks like snow on it, all right? And I've got the green again. We're also going to use, and we won't be using all of this stuff. I found these at the Dollar Tree. They're just little picks, and I've got them in gold, red, and silver. But remember, if you can only find one color, that's fine. You can make this craft how you would like for it to be. We're also, all of these little picks here came from the Dollar Tree. And I found these because what we're actually making is a Christmas tree swag that's actually going to look like a Christmas tree, okay? So it can be a swag, it can be a wreath. What I like about these is because we don't have to use any extra balls, and they've got a little bit more, and it's going to give our deal a texture. So I found all these picks. I found them in red, I found them in silver, the glittered silver, and even the plain, whatever you can find. I have a gold silver here, and a gold just plain, and one that's glittered. So these are the picks. We'll probably be cutting some of these pine cones off. They're just way too large for the size of the project we're going to do. Okay, you're going to need some pipe cleaners. I just happen to have these silver ones laying around, and I got them from the Dollar Tree. And you're just going to need some zip ties. Got them from the Dollar Tree, guys. Any color zip tie is going to work. The black ones, the clear ones, the white ones. The ribbon, however, came from Walmart. And that came from Walmart this season. And I've got a 1.5 inch red, and it's glittered, and a 1.5 inch gold and silver. And I thought this would complement the colors that we have here with all of the glitter going on today. The tools that you're going to need, I use wire cutters. You can use scissors to cut your ties, and pipe cleaners if you want. And I have arthritis in my hands, so I use needle nose pliers to help me pull those pipe cleaner zip ties a little tighter. All right. So this is all of the stuff you're going to need. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And you can still make a nice project for probably, I'm going to say $12 or under by the time we're through. So I'm going to clear off this mess, and then we're going to get started. So I'll see you in just a minute, guys. And I've got all of our mess cleaned up from all of our supplies. So the first step in making this is this is the Dollar Tree witch hat frame. So I'm just going to clip the tag off of it. Forgot to do that. And now I have one of the Dollar Tree mini Christmas trees. And this is how they look when they come out of the box. And they come with 3 of these. You don't need them, so I'm throwing them away. They also come with this little deal on the bottom. Just pull it off. Don't need it. But once you pull it off, they've got some kind of silky string rounding to keep the metal from showing. What you need to do, and I should have told you earlier, just a little bit of glue. Well, that was a lot. But we're just going to make that string stick there so it doesn't unravel anymore, okay? So I added glue gun to the list of supplies, and I just got a little bit too much glue. Now remember, glue is hot, so what you just saw me do is really a no-no. So now that we've got our tree and got the end figured out, we're just going to start pulling it down just like if you were fluffing your own Christmas tree when you took it out of the box for the year, okay? Just fluff it down, and if you'll notice, there's these spaces in between it. And that's not gonna matter for the way that we're gonna put it on the witch's frame. Witch hat frame, I should say. So there's just several sections, you can just pull them down. You don't have to be neat about it. The only thing I like to do is make sure that I've got these little branches separated, because they'll be stuck together in some of them. And here's that long, ugly one. So I just continue to fluff it. And there's some little bitty branches here at the top. Go ahead and pull them down also. And then you're left with this long one. What I do is I just take it in the very end and I just twist it around the bottom of that branch and bring it up to it looks more natural than just something sticking out. Okay, then I separate the branches, and I'm just going to move them sort of all forward, all towards the front. And then I'm just sort of going to push them a little bit more in to where it sort of looks like a half of a tree. All right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to get our witch's hat. And I've got my wire cutters here for a reason. I'm going to cut this as close as I can to that bar, and I'm going to snip it. These wires are not real strong. I'm going to flip them over and clip it again. And then the last one is the one right here in the middle. Some people leave these on and decorate them as like a Christmas skirt. You're more than welcome to do that if you don't have clippers. I just have a tendency, I don't like it on there. And so I'm going to put mine in the trash. I have no other uses for it. Okay. So now we've got a similar, what do you call it? Yeah, that's what we call it. So the first Christmas tree branch I'm going to do is I'm going to come down all the way down here to this bottom. And I'm going to take one of our zip ties. Or if you don't have zip ties and want to use all pot cleaners, that is fine. I like to start at the bottom. Let me get that around there. That way I can make sure that this little end of the Christmas tree is right there at the very end. Then I'm just going to zip tie it down. And I want this where it's connected to be on the top. If it's on the bottom back of it, it's going to end up scratching your door. Then I'm going to come up here to the top, not to this very tip here that we put on, but just up here to the top, to the sidebar. And I'm going to take another zip tie. And like I said, if you don't have zip ties, you can use pipe cleaners and just twist your pipe cleaner on there real snug. Okay? Pull it down taut, and two should hold it. Okay? But just in case it doesn't, I just thought of something here. We can put this branch up. See how this has got this one here? Let's put one right there and put it catty corner. And I think that's going to hold a lot better. Just the catty corner right in the middle zip tie. And it's catching that bar. Pull it tight. And see now, it doesn't wiggle backwards and forth. I just went around this middle bar right here, the Christmas tree, and the outer bar. So let's clip all these tags off. And let's just sort of move this on over. All these branches where we separated it. No big deal, doesn't have to be pretty. Just we're just gonna get them out of our way for a little bit, okay? We can even pull some of these down to the bottom. Just gonna get them out of our way. So I went ahead and fluffed some more of these. We've got 4. And I'm gonna bring it down here to the bottom in the same way, and we're going to repeat what we just done. A zip tie at the bottom. We're going to put a zip tie up here at the top, right around that bar, below the very top of it. It's actually in one of those spaces I showed you earlier. Let's flip that zip tie over. Get it up there to where you can see it. Pull it tight. And we're going to do the same thing as we did on the other side so that it doesn't wiggle backwards and forth. We're just going to find that bar again, and right there it is. I'm going to go up under that bar. It doesn't matter if you bring it in through the branches. Except I did it backwards. Let's do it this way. There we go. And pull it down tight, and that way it doesn't move backwards and forth. We're going to cut these off. This is the longest part, is just prepping your tree. Let's get that tree out of the way, the tree branch, okay? I'm going to cut those off. We're going to do the same thing. Just sort of going to spread it out. But I'm sort of this right up here, I'm going to spread it out a little bit more to make it easier for the next step. So we have 2 more of these going in. So the deal is to sort of maneuver your branches in and around, because I want this very tip up here to be the top of our Christmas tree, to where it is actually hanging over. Because here's the end of our witch's hat, and here's the tip. And this time, since I want to locate the tip up there, I'm going to put my zip tie up here first. Move the branches out of your way. And pull it taut. And this one you can actually move up right now. You won't be able to in a minute. And then we're going to go down here to the bottom, and we're just sort of going to lift some of these branches and lay it right in between them. That way when we fluff it, it'll hide it, okay? Make sure I've got it back up there where it belongs. And it is. I'm going to take a zip tie And I'm going to zip tie down here at the bottom of it. And it's just laying on top of each other. I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. But I'm going to take one more zip tie, and I'm going to find there's another little branch right up this little bar right here. And we're going to do it the same way as we did the other one. I've got a branch up under there, and we're just going to pull it out before we tighten it down. That way you can come back here and look. I've got all the branches out from under this piece. Okay. So I'm going to take this bar right here. I'm just going to go in and around that bar on the witch's hat. Zip tie it down real tight. Now it's looking like a regular Christmas tree. And we'll fluff it out some more. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to repeat the process on the other side. And if you've noticed, every time we do something, this little thing gets a little fuller and fuller. And that's what we wanted. This will make a really nice, and it'll be a nice size wreath, Christmas wreath, or if you want to call it a Christmas tree swag, to go on your door. Okay, I'm just going to bend these over in the middle so I have room for my next tree branch. The last one's always harder to get on. Move those over. Get this top right up there by that other one. Okay? Pull it up. Whoops. Let's get us a zip tie here. Snug it down. Come down here to the bottom. I think I've got all of my branches out of the way, and I do. Go in one of these spaces, and we're going to catch that bottom branch or rod. Pull it as tight as we can. And that's why I've got these. We're going to need one more zip tie. And I'll list below how many zip ties you're actually going to need. And I'm going to come up here again on this side. There's that little bar. Couldn't find it. Find our little bar. Whoops, got it turned around backwards. Not a problem. I guess it is if it still's turned around backwards. There we go. I'll grab these and pull it just a little tighter. There we go. And now we've got all of our little Christmas trees on this one. So what we're going to start doing is they're sort of separated, right? No problem. We're going to come right up here to the top and right here in the middle The top looks pretty good. And then we're just going to twist them a little bit. Because you've got a little bit of a void in between. So you just want to take like a tie from this side, doesn't matter which one, and just twist it and pop it back up there. Okay? And just continue down. I try to look for the longer ones. It makes it a little easier. Sort of spread them out down the sides also. Pull them down, fluff them up. Just find us a couple of more long ones and twist them. That looks like a pretty long one. There's a long one. So let's just take these two long ones, twist them tight. Because your pine needles on any regular tree that you find out there is not going to be even. They're going to be all different shapes and sizes. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And this way, if these long ones, we can sort of move them down because we want to maintain that V. Get down here, do the same thing. We're just going to keep fluffing. Bring some of these up and over. You can remember, it doesn't have to be really solid because we've got a lot of fun stuff that's going to go in this. Just bring in some of these longer ones up and around and over and sort of down. Okay, so we still have our beautiful V, but we have this nasty looking rail and all of that right here. Well, let's go ahead and take care of that. So that is what the garland's for. Let's cut the tag off. This also, like I said, everything I'm using besides the ribbon came from the Dollar Tree. So we've actually got $5 right there in this tree, guys. Let me see if I can find the end. Just wanting to be crazy. It'll roll out everywhere except for where you want it to. There we go. So what we're going to do, if I can get this unhooked, is this has got a really good wire in it too. Is we're going to start up here where that little indentation is in the tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my garland through there. I'm going to pull it around so that there's no twisting in the back. And I'm just going to twist that one little piece around and around and point it towards the front. Okay? You can go ahead and start right in here because it is a little thin right through there. And this is just going to help hide a little bit because it's really thick up here. But the closer you got to the bottom, it got a little thinner. Okay? Then after we put that one up there on them, we're going to just continue to wrap this garland. If I can keep it unrolled, tying a knot in it. That's just like rolling up a water hose, isn't it, guys? Or an electrical cord. There we go. If you want to, you can go ahead and put like a zip tie or a pipe cleaner right down in here. Or what I like to do, if I can get this garland out of my way, is to go ahead and cut it, okay? And the end that I cut, I go up here around about the second twist, and I twist it around that other piece of garland, and it holds it in place, guys. Okay? Then it's like starting over again. So let me see if I can get this untied. But this time I'm going to come down on this bottom one and make my twist. And just twist it around until your wire is facing the front, because we're actually going to cover it up. Okay? Now we're going to start pulling this. We're going to start pulling it. It's not saying it's going to stay. So let's just twist it around and around. And that wire is bending with it. Doesn't have to be even, guys. Let me find out where I'm at here. There we go. So I'm just twisting it around. Now I've gotten caught up with it. And this is better than just pulling it through, which is a pain in the hiney. And around till I get down here to where it's already been twisted. And I get to this corner. Whoops, I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm going to cut it off again. Okay. But this time I'm going to tie it around that bar. I'm going to come up around the end of the deal. Get that wire and tie it up and around the bar. Okay. Then I'm going to hook this over here to this bar. Once again. This also helps cover up the ends that would be considered sharp. I'm just going to do 2 or 3 more little passes to where all of this is covered. Okay. I'm going to turn it over, clip it, depending on how full you want it. I'm taking one of these, it's gone around, and I'm just twisting that wire around it just like you would twist a pipe cleaner. Okay? So now you're probably wondering, well, that's awful cute, but what about the branches, right? We need some branches down there. That's why I have these ties. They're called garland ties. But before we do that, see this that we've got left over? They're just like a garland tie. Let me pull it out. If you look at them, the only thing, there's not much difference in them once you run your hands up and down that than there is this. Okay? This just mimics and is very coordinating with the tree. This one, not so much. You could actually cut that one off and do garland ties. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this down in where we wrapped it around it, bring it up, and I'm going to twist it. Doesn't have to be a lot of them. You can bring some of these down towards us when we're fluffing some more. Just going to stick it up there, through there, take it, and twist it. So I'm sort of going to put a few onto the outside, and you get 12 of these ties in a package. Twist it. See how your ties are coming along? And you've already gotten this part covered up, so it's no big deal. I'm going to go through all of these ties right here in the middle. Take it, twist it. If you think they're too long, trim them off a little bit. This is your project. You can do anything you want with your project. I'm going to go down through it, come back up in it, and I'm just going to put these sporadically up and around and through here. Okay, let's put another one right over here. And you're actually just twisting it around one of that garland. Let's put one right here and let's probably call it good. So there we go. And there's our branches. If you want to put more in, feel free to do it. But that's what we've got so far. We've got our base. Now here comes the fun stuff. Okay, so I'll be right back. Let me clean my desk off and get out all the pretties. All right, guys, are y'all ready to put the pretty stuff in? So we've got our Christmas tree here. I measured it and it comes out to 24 inches long. And with the branches and all, because it tapers down to the bottom, is 18 inches wide. This is a substantial piece for your door, whether it be outside or inside. So let's put this right over here. And what we're going to do next is we're going to put our bow on first with some little ribbon streamers. All right? So I'm going to take this. This is a 1.5 inch ribbon. I got this ribbon from Walmart. Let me get my little pin cushion right there. It's a really pretty red. It's not quite sheer, but it's got a sheerness to it. And look how gorgeous it's going to look on this wreath. It's just going to make it pop, guys. It's got a lot of shimmer to it. So I want to make a pretty long tail. The way we're going to decide the size of our bow, when I'm talking about a tail, I'm talking about this that streams down. I want it to sort of be long, okay? And then when I'm talking about a loop, this is when you bend your ribbon over. We don't want to overwhelm this little tree and while we're putting a tree topper bow on it. So we're going to keep this smaller. That loop is probably about 5 inches. And I think that's going to be perfect, 5, and we'll go down smaller and smaller. Okay? So let's get started. I use a Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I have these in my shop, and it's linked below if anyone is interested. So like I said, long streamer. I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm going to twist the opposite of each other. I'm going to pull this down. Now we've got our ribbon on the wrong side right here. With this ribbon, it's hard to tell. And the reason that I twist it, I'm just going to do a 5.5 inch loop. This has got measurements on it, 5.5 inch loop. There we go. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do another 5.5 inch loop. and I'm going to continue to twist it. Okay, I'm going to move this loop down towards me. There we go. You got to make it go where you want it to. And I'm going to put this loop up there, and I pulled too much through. I always do that when I go to twist sometimes. So this one's going to go up there. I keep my finger right here in the center by the dowels. I'm going to do another 5.5 inch loop, and I'm going to twist it again. But this time I'm going to bring that loop up here to the top. Okay? Come on down here, put it in again, another 5.5 inch loop, and this time I'm just going to bring the streamer down. Okay? Streamer or tail, whatever you want to call it. If your loops are not actually the same size, don't worry about it. This is called handcrafting. Nothing's going to be exact. Okay? So now that I've got that red in, I'm going to bring in some gold over the top of it. Isn't that luscious? Isn't that pretty? This ribbon came from Walmart also. This is really going to pull the colors. And I'm just sort of going to measure it. And I'm going to just make it a little shorter of a tail. Put it down in there, and I'm going to twist it. I'm going to bring it down forward again. Look how good those colors look together. This time, I'm only going to make a 5-inch loop, and I'm going to put it right in the center. Okay? Right in the center. This ribbon holds its shape really well. Both of these do. So 5 inches right in the center. Going ahead and bringing it down. We just put basically, we made an X with the red. So this time we just put a bow tie on it, guys. That's all we did. Cut it off. I'm going to set this one to the side. Now this is Christmas. We couldn't have just a simple bow up there. So let's bring in this red again. This time it's going to be a little shorter. I'm going to twist it. Okay. I'm going to pull some ribbon out. I am going to make a 4.5 inch loop. And I'm going to sort of bring it down. It's just shorter. I'm going to twist it. I'm going to make another 4.5 inch loop. And I'm just going to make the 2 loops on the red also. And this one needs to be a little, there we go. You just sort of have to eyeball it. And I'm going to cut it off. So we're going to be through with the red. So let's put our pin back in it. Now let's bring in this really pretty gold. We're going to end with the gold on top. I like it so much. Just a little shorter. We're going to twist it. Okay. But all we're going to do with this one on the top is make one little loop right here in the center of this bow. Just one little loop. About yay big. That's probably about 2 inches big, guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this ribbon. Okay? So if you see when I put like the little loop in the center, both of my tails come out on the same side. And also I made it opposite here. But we're going to fix that. Let's cut that off. Don't know where I put the pin to this one. Oh, there it is. Good. I didn't want to step on it. So now, let's top it off by using one of these silver tinsel pipe cleaners that came from the Dollar Tree. I like to turn my bow maker right in front of me. I'm just going to get under here and push these ribbons up because I put them down in there really tight. Okay? I want to push them up enough to where I can get my 2 fingers up in there on each side of these dowels, and I can press down and I can pull that pretty bow off. Then I'm going to put my pipe cleaner right in the middle, move my thumb right over the top of it, and I'm pushing in with my thumb, and then I'm going to twist the bow. I'm not twisting the pipe cleaner, I'm twisting the bow, guys. Just remember, you can twist it too much and your pipe cleaner will break. So let's start on the bottom with these pretty tails. And all I'm doing is pulling them forward, and see how nice they curl. Isn't it gorgeous? So now we've got our little pretty loops. Just put your fingers in them, move them around. But we've got this wonky looking center loop, and we've got this one that's sticking out in the air. So move that little center loop over to the side, go way down in there by that pipe cleaner, and twist it till it's back on the right side, and then just pull it down and it'll go on the right side. Now all we've got to do is put our fingers in that center loop, and there we have it, guys. We have a gorgeous, gorgeous bow to go on our Christmas tree. So let's go ahead and let's put it on there. Let's bring our little Christmas tree over here. So we've got this pipe cleaner already attached right here, and that's what we're going to tie it on with. So I'm just going to go around the very top. Remember, I wanted these other little nubs here to stick up. Well, now I'm going to sort of press these to the side, and I am going to go right around these, go around all of them. Let's sort of get our bow straight here, because I've got it really crooked. For some reason. Let's see. Let's hold it. Pull our tails down to the front. There's that big one. It needs to go up there. Sorry guys, I had to lift it up so I could see it. Then you're just going to take this pipe cleaner right back here, and you're just going to twist it really tight. Several times. Now let's turn it over so you can see. See, I twisted it right up here where these 2 little things are. Twist it real tight. Twist it till it's all one. Coming down. Then I'm going to, oops, excuse me for that noise, clip that off. And then I'm going to run that pipe cleaner right back and around. Okay? And now we have a gorgeous tree topper bow for our Christmas tree. Isn't that stunning? Okay, so now we have all of these big loops. This one's a little shorter. That one's a little shorter. But I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to make a loop like this. Just bring it up. Then I'm going to come here, and I'm just going to pinch that. And I'm going to take, this is just a 1/4 of a pipe cleaner. And I'm going to take it, And I'm going to wrap it around that. And I'm going to go all the way down in here to around the bottom of one of these branches. And I'll show you just a second what I did. If I can find that, get that pipe cleaner. And I cut them short because I didn't want big ones. And I like the silver because it'll give a reflection to it if it's seen. Okay? So what I did is I just went right down in there as far as I could to one of the branches. And now I'm actually going to pull that branch back out. And now I have like an extension of another loop. Isn't that gorgeous? So let's come over here to this side, and we're just going to go over here out to the side. Okay? Let me move these right here so you can see. I've just got this right here, and I'm just sort of angling it over here to the side. Now I'm going to take another quarter of a pipe cleaner, wrap it around that ribbon again, and twist it, pull it taut and twist it. And then I'm going to go way back down in here again. See, I found that branch right there. And I'm just going to twist it to where it stays on good, right down there at the bottom. Then I'm going to poke that pipe cleaner to where it's going back to the inside and hold that branch. Then you can bring this other piece of your ribbon just down to the side anywhere. I want to slant cut my ribbon. I don't want to dovetail this. And I'll show you what I know you didn't get to see that, but I'll show you what I mean. So now that we've got two big ribbons, they're not even, they don't need to be even. We're going to go in here with this gold one. I think this gold one is beautiful. And I'm going to make another loop. Okay? I'm going to come and just pinch it together. Same process. Take me just like a quarter of that pipe cleaner, pinch it around it, and I'm going to go right in here because I want this loop to stand loud and proud. I'm going to go right in here, find me a branch, and twist it around it, guys. Okay, and what I mean by slant cut is you can go from one side to the other. You go from one corner and you just cut up, and that just leaves a really pretty edge. Here's another one. I think I'm going to just sort of bring this one over to the side. Similar to the other one, we're not going to have much of a scrunching it up together. Right down in there. These are a little short, but you can do it. And I'm just going to cut that ribbon at a slant. Okay. These other ribbons, I'm just going to let hang how they want to hang. Okay? So we've got a lot of ribbons going on up here. So let's go ahead so we don't forget. Let's slant cut some of these. I want that one a little shorter. And pick all of that up. Now see how pretty that is already. So now we're going to take a little bit of our ribbon And we're going to leave just a little bit on it. We're going to ruffle it up, scrunch it up, whatever you want to call it. Okay? And similar to the other ones, let's go ahead and slant cut it. But we don't want the top to have all the glory. We're going to take this one, come right down here onto this branch, and twist it around. Let that sort of be right there. Find the right side of our ribbon. And let's create us just like a cross loop over here. Okay? Just a cross loop. Pinch it together. This may take a while to make your design, but the end results will be really worth it, guys. And it's from the Dollar Tree. Everything is from the Dollar Tree. So this is a budget-friendly DIY. That's what I love about this. So this time, I'm going to leave this tail a little longer and just cut it. Okay, there we go. Let's take a little bit of this red. Give it a little pinch, guys. Take our little, and I'm going to go in right up here. And twist. Let's slant cut it. And with this one, I'm going to, let's see. Let's just come out here to the end, because we've got a lot of goodies to go in this. So I'm just adding a couple of pieces of extra ribbon. You get 45 yards of this ribbon. That's a lot of ribbon to make beautiful things with. Slant cut. Okay. I think that's all the ribbon we're going to put in it. You can come down to the sides. You can crisscross them however you want to do it. Use your imagination. Now, what I thought to give it some more dimension is, I've got this green tulle. I got it at Walmart. Dollar Tree. Sorry about that, guys. So I thought if we cut 10-inch pieces, that's all it's going to take, 10-inch pieces, maybe 8 or 10 of them, and you took these, and you just put your thumbs together, and you just ruffle them, walk them little fingers, and push with that little thumb. If you just ruffled them right up the center, and you have this looks like a little butterfly or whatever. And if you took one of those quarter pieces of pipe cleaner, pull it tight, twist it, doesn't take much, and if you went down in around the bottoms of your little ties and twist them around it, it's just going to give it a little added dimension and texture. I went ahead and cut some more to save us some time. So let's put some in here. It's not going to take a lot because we've got other things going in. I went ahead and cut my pipe cleaners in quarters on our break. Let's go right up here under this ribbon. Pull that, twist it around it really well. If all possible, I like to use pipe cleaners to put my stuff in, because if you think about it, maybe next year you want to do something different. And all you've got to do is take your pipe cleaners out. We go again. Let's put one right up and around one of these. I try to get closest to the bottom as I can, but if you can't, that's all right too. See how it's just giving it just a little bit of extra texture and just giving it a little snowy effect. This is how you get your dimension and your texture to anything that you're making. Nothing has to match. Twist it around. Let's come outside where we put these tails here and put us another one of these things. Some tulle. Because that's basically what it is. I don't know what they actually call it. Snow mesh or something like that. There it is. Move it around. Pull your little ribbons out. Okay, let's go over here to the side. Pipe cleaner. Let's go up here under all of these pretty tails and ribbons. I think I want one right down here and one on the other side, and that should be enough of this, because you can get a little overboard. The tulle is really cheap because it's only $1 a row. The ribbon's cheap because you'll have a lot left over to make more bows. The Christmas trees, they're $1 a piece. The other ties are $1. I want this to come. Let's do it right over here. So you have to really be mindful or it turns into an expensive product. And we want to keep this on a budget. There we go. All right. That's plenty. The more tulle you want to put in, that is perfectly fine. I think it just adds a little texture. So now let's go on to our ornaments. We've got some silver, red, and gold. Let's see if I can get that off without cutting it. When you get a pick like this, you always want to fluff it, just like you did your Christmas tree. I like this because see how this one's turned around backwards? It's wired, guys. Make it turn around the way you want it. It's the balls on it are wired. The pine cones are. This pine cone's not a bad size, so, and it's got these little berries, which I think is adorable. So make sure you touch everything on this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start, I'm going to leave this alone. I'm just going to start right up here, down here at the bottom, and I'm just going to push this in. And when you, it's not going to go all the way exactly through. You can do one or two things. You can take a pipe cleaner and tie that right there, or you can come right up here where we put it in, grab two of these ties, and this is the way I like to do it, and just wrap it around it. And it's going to hold it really well. Okay? So now we've got all of this other luscious greenery sticking out. Isn't that cute? So now let's do a gold one down here at the bottom. And now this is what we're going to be doing to fill it up. So we're going to, and this one's got a little bit of different greenery. It's got some of this other stuff on it. We're just going to, don't let it stick out there straight. Sort of give it some life. Our leaf is turned around backwards. It's wired, guys. Let's put it where we want it. This little thing is wired. I don't know if that, yeah, it is. So I'm just going to move it away. Okay? You can even do this, bend it up a little bit, and that's going to make it stand up from your wreath, and that's going to give it a lot of dimension. So here we go again. Just taking it, going right up in there, pushing it. Okay? Now I'm going to take, let's see where that sucker landed. Yep. I'm going to take a tie on each side. Whoops. That one was tied to my pretty ribbon. But that's okay. I'm going to take it, wrap it around really snug, bring it down under it, and back up. Okay? Just gorgeous. Let's take this gold one, this silver one. Boy, I don't know my colors today. The only thing I don't like about this silver one, look how big that pine cone is. So, and see how it's floppy? We're going to see, after we get the rest of it fluff, what it's going to look like. Let's bring this one out front. We've got that little one. We're going to do some little bit of bending here. I'm just not a fan of that size of a pine cone to go way up in here. I think it's too heavy for the piece. So we're going to say bye-bye. Here we go. Take this leaf. Yeah, it's turned the right way. Fan these out a little bit. Let's put this in over there. Maybe even tilt that. And sort of bring our stem up. So now we're just going to go up and in our wreath. I'm going to come down in here. I'm going to find a branch on each side. And we're going to twist that little sucker in there. It's even got some of the little snow around it. If you need to, once you get it in there, give it some little love. All right. So I've got another gold one, silver and red. And that's all the ornaments we're going to put in it. So let's get a gold one. This one, I thought I was going to use it in another project. So it's got a little stub on it. But, you know what? We're going to make that sucker work. So I'm going to put it right in here where I see two ties. I'm just going to sort of lay it in there. And I'm going to come up and in between these two right here. And that's where I'm going to snug it down and wire it. Okay? Let's pull this one. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay. Let's put another red one. Whoops. Like I said, touch everything on it. Not gonna hurt. Okay. And we're gonna come sort of up on the side over here. Just bend it like we're supposed to here. And we're gonna just come right up under there. See if I can find 2 tree branches. Perfect. Go back and fluff your stuff, guys. How's that looking so far? Okay. And I'm not so sure we need any more ornaments. I like the ornaments that we've got on it, okay? So the rest of these are going to stay. We don't need that pine cone, it's way too big. But now, the last pieces to making our Christmas tree look beautiful. These came from the Dollar Tree, and you get 4 of them in a bag, and they're all wired, guys. They're wired. Okay, so I'm going to open these, and we're going to put them sporadically. And this is just going to give it that last wow factor. Here we go. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of gold. And let me show you how you can get more bang for your buck. We're going to come down here a ways, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off. Then I'm just going to cut a couple of these little sprigs off. This is the only time you'll be seeing me use glue, because I plan on keeping this and putting it in on my door. You can sort of bend it and give it some life, and all I do is run a little thin bead of glue. Little thin bead of glue. Doesn't take much. Okay? I'm going to go right up in here, but I'm going to make sure I connect that to the greenery. Glue loves this stuff. Loves it. Okay? So I put a little piece there. Now I'm going to take this piece that we had left over, and I'm going to cut that stem off a little bit. Just a little piece of glue. I'm going to come right up under here and stick it in there and let it grab that glue. It's just giving it a little bit more texture. Now let's take a red one, cut it off, cut a couple of these little end deals off to give you like a little tiny stem, a little bit of glue. Okay, and I'm going to come right up under, and I don't want it to lay flat. I want it to have some dimension. Let's take the rest of this one. Even pull it, bend it up. Okay? And let's sort of just stick a little bit in the sides and stuff when you get a side view. Okay, let's do a little bit of silver. Silver's fun. Glue strings. I think we need, and I just go around and just keep on wherever I think something needs something. That's what I do. I'm just going to keep putting these in and around. We still have a silver one right here. I got sidetracked with the red. They're all so pretty. Bend it up. Let's do another silver. Use the other half of it wherever I tossed it. There it is. Let's take a branch off. Oops, like to dropped it. Just gonna stick it right in there. Some more gold. I don't want it to be overly done, but I just love these little picks. Love them. Looks hot glue's hot, guys. Oh. Okay. As you can tell, I make a mess when I'm crafting. But that's quite all right. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of something with the bow. Okay? It's got red and it's got just a little bit of silver. I want to bend this around to where it comes alive. Let's get another glue stick right quick. And I'm just going to go way back and behind. See how I'm pulling that? And I'm just going to stick it there. Just to give this bow a little, blend in that silver just a little bit. And pull these end pieces off. Cut it down just some more. Just putting it on the tip. And I'm going to go way up in here under these ribbons, all the way down to the end. And that's just a little added touch. Let's move all of my debris out of the way. So this, if you wanted more ornaments, you could. And it may need another ornament or something right there. I see a hoe right there and right here. So let's just do that. So right here, let's just put in another silver one right quick. I love silver. I don't like the big pine cone though, again. Love these leaves, this color of these leaves on this. Remember, I got all of these picks at the Dollar Tree. Oh, that pulled out too. Oh well, no biggie. So let's do the same. Let's bend our stem up. I'm going to come in. I'm going to find 2 stems. That I can tie right there. And I think that evened that off. Was this our other spot? Yeah, right there. And yep, I got a red one. On this red one, we'll see if that pine cone is too big. I like this. This is spread out more. Our pretties are spread out more. Bend it up. Let's go at an angle right up in there. Yeah, I think that's what it needed, guys. But I do think I don't like the pine cone. It's keeping me from getting, there we go. Because it was keeping it too far out to where we were losing our dimension. Take me 2 pine needles, pine branches, and twist them. Fluff it up again. And ho, ho, ho. There we go, guys. There is